Kick that classic intro. What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we've got to check out this Bitcoin action after I just kicked that classic intro. That was by special request, by the way. Abdurrahim Hamada.
Woo!
That was for you. I saw your comment asking where the hip hop music was, so I thought I'd do a little throwback and kick that classic intro. But today we are going to look at the possibility of Bitcoin rolling over. But before we start, please be aware that this is not financial advice. Anything I say or do in this video can cause you to completely fall flat on your face, have your bank accounts cleaned out, and you'll end up living in a dusty, nasty alley. Okay, so keep that in mind if you don't want to be a dusty butt bum living in an alleyway, okay? This is all for fun, entertainment purposes only. So let's just start out here on the one-day chart. What do we see? How can we make this simple? I think we can kind of break this down in a very simple way. Does anything stick out like a sore thumb to you? Because I see something. I see two somethings, and it's not just the 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles on the dollar chart with the price slightly dipping down. There's something else going on here that's kind of concerning. And here's what it is. You'll notice that price was going up here, right? But then after this point right here, here's the divider line. Here's the divider line. We noticed that the stochastic is going down, and so are the oscillators on the MACD moving down. But while those were moving down, price was still going upwards. So you call that a divergence. Let's put that on the screen there. Divergence. Okay, so when we see that, sometimes that can mean that Bitcoin is walking down the plank and is going to fall off into the deep blue sea. Now, it's not a guarantee because it could just like bounce off of this 50 EMA. It could bounce off of this point here where you see this big volume cluster right there. And that cluster, that node rather, at 34,466, if that does not catch the price, which this should happen somewhere around the crossing point of the 50 EMA, it's going to drop down to this blue line, which is the 200 EMA, which almost magically coincides with this big volume cluster, this node here at, wait a minute. So this top one is up here at 34,000. Yeah, that's it. This huge cluster here at the top of this cluster is this green line, and that's at like 30,700. I heard some people talking 31,800, but there's nothing in there. There's no big volume node. There's a slip zone here. Okay, do you know what a slip zone is? If you don't remember what a slip zone is, let me explain it for the new people. Whenever you are being attracted to a node, see where these nodes stick out? That's the volume at a particular price. That's what the VPVR is, volume profile visible range. Okay, and this node says there was a lot of buying going on at this 34,000 and change price. But then notice how it drops off here. This is what I call a slip zone. So if this node right here doesn't catch the price, that means we can fall into the slip zone where we slip down to the next big node, which is right here at the 30,000 and change level. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking that we could see happen here in the next few days, maybe in the next few days. we definitely are bearish on this stochastic because it's dropping down. The fast line, the blue line, is diverging away from the orange line, the slow line. And the momentum, this is a steep angle downward, okay? So it looks like we're trying to head into a full cycle down, possibly. We also have the confirmation of a double cross. We had this bearish cross here, but then the blue line wanted to come back up as price moved up. And then now the blue line is crossed over the orange again. And we have a slight gap between the blue and the orange, and it's pointing downward. We're also printing the red bars on the histogram. So that just says that price is probably going to be coming down, and this would be a normal healthy correction. Now, if we don't stop at this big node here, the point of control price is at 27,000. Okay, but we would have to fail the black dash line, and that's an important line because there's huge support there at 28,649 because that's the top of this thick node here, this cluster above the point of control price. Now, let's look at the 1 week chart. 1 week chart and see what we can see here. Oh my goodness, folks. Would y'all look at that? Now, what sticks out like a sore thumb? What sticks out here? What do you see on this chart that's like, oh my goodness, look at that, Becky? What do you see? Well, if you said a big, fat, nasty potential crossover of the stochastic, you are correct. Look at that. We're all the way up here in the overbought zone at the stochastic peak. Now, notice that on the previous peaks, on this peak, we had this higher high. On the next peak, an even higher high. On the next declining peak, higher high. And then we had this current peak, higher high yet again. So that's definitely an uptrend because these peaks keep on moving up like so. And each one is giving us a higher return when we go upstairs to the price from the stochastic. However, since we have this, it looks like a clear crossover here. I'm thinking that this is going to sail down and we could cycle down for a nice correction because we also noticed that we did make it all the way up to this fib. Let's see, which fib is that? Is that the 0.5? I'm going to have to move this over so I can see that. Let's slide this over because I can't see the lines. Here we go. That's at the 0.382 of the fib retrace, and we could be headed down to the 0.5. And then, of course, the golden fib retrace is down here just above the purple line, but that's all the way down to 23,000. It would take quite an event, maybe a black swan event or some really bad news for us to go down that far, but it's possible. If we go to the purple line at 23,000, we're still in an uptrend because let's just kind of take a look at this. Here's the market bottom right here, okay? That's your market bottom. And if we did go all the way to the purple line, if we went there, this would still be an uptrend because when you connect all of this, you get a trading channel. Do you see that? Okay? And so if we happen to dip down that low, let's kind of change this up a little bit, make it parallel. Do you see this parallel trading channel? It's still intact. The uptrend is still intact. So we could just do this. We could bounce around, hit the top and come all the way back down to the bottom and then keep on bouncing up and continue the upward movement. So my guess is that this cycles down and price comes down to this bottom and then we shoot back up for the next uptrend within this parallel trading channel. So as long as we don't fail the trading channel here, if we poke through this, then we're going to be looking back downward, possibly, you know what it is. If we break the purple line right there, we could be going all the way back down to the red dash line. quite scary that would be if we go all the way down to the red dash line. I was trying to find my music. That's why I was stammering and stuttering there. It's like, dadgummit, I can't pull up my sound effects. So anyhow, that is a possibility if we break the channel. But as long as we don't break the channel, I don't think that the red dash line is going to come back into play. All right, so let's clear. I didn't mean to draw that arrow. I'm sorry. Let's crunch this down. We also see that the MACD is coming from an absolute bottom from where the almost market bottom happened. Then there's the market bottom, which was happening during the recovery as the stochastic or the oscillators were moving up. But we are printing green bars here, so that could peak and then cycle on down and around. Let's look at the 1 month, and then let's call it quits. The 1 month chart. Is that the 1 month? No, that's the day chart. Dang it. Let's see here. It's this one. It's underneath my video screen. There we go. Now this doesn't look so hot because we're sitting here at a peak, still moving up. Here's the market cycle peak from the bull run, right? So there's the all-time high, double top, new all-time high, and then sailing all the way down to oversold. Look at this. We've made it all the way up here. That's why I'm convinced that we're not done yet. We're not entering into the bull market yet. I'm thinking 2024 late or 2025 because this is going to at least have to halfway cycle down. Kind of like when we come off of this, all the way down to the bottom, we come up and then it took a breather halfway and then came back up again. It could come back, to the halfway point and then move up again. Worst case scenario, if the 1 month chart goes all the way down, then we could be talking red dash line. But this stochastic cycle has to complete. Okay. I mean, it's just pretty simple. You look at it. Here's the whole bull market. Here's the surge upward and then the wave downward. Full cycle. That's a sine wave. Above the zero line, below the zero line. Now we're looking at a small above instead of a massive above because this is not the bull market yet. This ain't the move. So that kind of explains it right there. All right. I want you to let me know what your thoughts are as I move this back to the 1 day chart. Let me know what you think is going to happen next as we look at the DXY. Ooh, it took a deep dive down. It's not every day that you see the DXY and Bitcoin going in the same direction, but this may bounce on support of this 200 and come back up. And if it does, then we will continue to correct. Well, anyhow, I wanted to jump back. I will be answering comments, so stick with me there. I did want to mention someone here. Let me move this up into the corner so I can find it. It was on the last video. I wanted to mention somebody that did give me a super thanks. Let's jump back and see if it was the Caspa video. Was it the Caspa video? I think it was the Caspa video. So we'll pop back here and look again. Let's see. Let's look at all comments. And there it is. There it is. We had super thanks of $1.99. Thank you, Mitchell Locklear. Yay! I do appreciate your continued support. And if you would like to be like Mitchell Locklear and help defray the cost of producing this channel, you may do so with the giving of a thooper. What the heck am I talking about? A thooper thanks with the giving of a super thanks. So that's about all I've got for now. But I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And I will have some commentary coming up to start talking or to talk about some of these current events in the news with Bitcoin. And if you want, I can still post my reaction video to the Scam Bankman Freud, Scam Bank Run Fraud trial conclusion. And we are waiting for the sentencing to come down. All right. Well, until next time, this is Carlton, and I am out.